early August update. It's the first week in August. My asparagus is growing tall. I learned now why my asparagus is turning to ferns and not the way it's supposed to. I need more soil. Apparently I did not bury them deep enough. So probably next year, if you can see right here, it's about it's about 6 inches below that line. So I'm going to add more dirt and more compost to that, so that next year it'll grow the way it's supposed to. There's my one sole surviving beet that bloomed very, very late. That should have already been ready by now, but it somehow survived and it's still barely growing. There's already grass growing everywhere here, but I had just pulled it about a week ago. I put fresh new compost and I planted a bunch of romaine lettuces, as you can see here. They're everywhere. I planted one every foot, so there's 2 here, so it's about 12 lettuces there. My watermelon is getting big. I actually have 4 of them. There's, look at that, one right there, one over there, one right there, and there's another one over there, but it's too hot in the sun right now to go. I will pull out those black beans because they didn't give me any more black beans, so I'm going to pull them out, plant some new ones. Let me walk over here into the sun so you can see my tomatoes. Here's an unexpected thing. That is actually some kind of a cucumber or variety. I'm not sure what kind it is. It was from a seed that was left over from that was in my compost pile. And when I put the compost in there earlier this year, apparently it survived and it blossomed. It grew, so hey, it's more edible food. I'm going to just let it grow. Here is my tomato. These are I believe the cherry tomatoes, or grape tomatoes. There's one right there, and you can see that in the sun, but there's one right there. As you can see, even though my failed attempt to put it in a cage killed half of the plant, the other half is still surviving barely. It's starting to blossom again. Here's another tomato plant. Let's see here, you can lift it up and see a bunch of tomatoes. I've already harvested about 5 of them. This one, oh look at that. This one has 2 more. This small one right there. The marigold are still growing. I've already harvested so many seeds from it, and that one's about ready to die. I'm going to collect that one for more seeds. I have more seeds for marigolds than I can ever use in a lifetime, probably. My jalapeno is nice and tall. They didn't get any big, but look at that. Can you see that? Hope you can see it. There's a glare in my camera right now. But I've collected about 3 jalapeños. They're about that size roughly. They turned red, and one of them actually fell off, which means it was ready to be pulled. I planted 7 more jalapeños. Here's one right there. Some of them are already dying out, but I have more in reserve, so I learned my lesson from last time. Don't plant just what you need. Plant what you need and have some backups in the shade over there, so that if these die, I have more ready to go. Here's my pickling variety of cucumbers. Here they are right there growing. I've managed to collect 3 so far. I'm sorry, 2 actually, from one single plant. And let me walk around this way. Same thing here. I added more compost all this right here from my homemade compost. You can see the quality right here. That's my stuff right there. That's pretty good. Those big contractor bags that weigh about 100 pounds when they're full, I managed to fill it up about 6 times. Put one in each section here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This little patch, which is where my cabbage will be, I didn't add anything yet because it's not time to plant yet, cabbage. I have to come out here and pull more grass. But I planted more cauliflower. There's one that still survived. Here's one that survived. There's another one. Oh, there's another one. And here's some more. So I planted 8 here. This is my broccoli. Same thing, I planted 8. They're starting to grow a little bit there, as you can see right there. September, I'm going to plant more cabbage. I'm going to remove all this mulch and add more compost. Here are my green bell peppers, or rather red. Who knows what color, red or green. They're bell peppers. Planted 10. Since this is the edge of the box, I went ahead and planted some on the very corners, and one of them already died. But like I said, I got more backups. Here's more marigolds. I had a marigold planted right here, but it died. So I'm going to plant more marigolds. I still got 4 boxes that have potatoes still growing. So I haven't pulled them out. My sweet potatoes look kind of sad because it's really hot out here. And as you can see, this one's starting to dry out. So, since June, these 2 apples have yet to grow anything, any size. So, an apple tree with thorns is not a very good apple tree. Especially when it doesn't get any bigger than, what, 5-6 feet almost. So that's going to go. I've already pulled out all my corn. It got infected with corn smut. So I had to remove it all. All my corn went bad. I moved all the dirt over here for support. This one is still growing. Look at that right there. That's beautiful right there. So I got more corn right there growing. Got corn right there growing. Right here. Almost every single one now has corn. Planted a mystery crop. Looks like broccoli or cauliflower. Probably a seed that fell out there. Planted sunflower seeds on the corners of each box. There's this one right there. And that one over there died, but interesting thing too about this corn, this is the one that took since April. So it should have already been done by now, but it's still growing. Very slow. I think it's the soil. Probably not enough nutrients in this box, but the one over there was really fast. I mean, that one was done. But like I said, half of it got infected with corn smut. Corn smut is edible. It's a Mexican delicacy. So I left it for my mother-in-law. Maybe she knows how to cook it. But here, this is one that I planted in March. Now it's August. So it took a while to grow corn. But that one was done first. So I don't know what the hell's going on with this. Here's my pinto beans. They're starting to give a little bit more beans, but not as much as the first time. So I think it's time I pull them out. My strawberries. Look at that. First 2 little flowers that I've seen on any of these. So far here in my area, at least in Dallas, the best variety has been the Quinlat. None of these, I mean, these are all surviving. The All-Star, the Ozark Beauty, and the Sequoia, they haven't died, but the quinlet right here actually has sprouted. Look at that. The little, what are they called? The shoots. It's already sprouted 1, 2, 3 different shoots, and my first little strawberry. So I think this has been the most successful one in my garden, or my strawberry patch. Here's more green, pinto beans. As you can see, they start off green and then they turn yellowish, then white, and then the little stripes come on there. The chile anchos that my mother-in-law planted look beautiful. I must say I'm kind of jealous that she's had more success with her chiles, than my jalapeños. I mean, look at that. That's a good, what, 3 feet high almost? A little bit more probably. Because when I built this, that was supposed to be about 2.5 feet. This is almost my height already. So definitely well over 3 feet. Maybe 3.5. I don't believe I've ever given you an update on these, but those 3 are my pineapples that I'm growing. I'm pretty sure that come winter time I'll have to bring them in because I don't think pineapples will survive in the winter. But I mean, look, this is the one that I got from just a regular pineapple from the stores. I just cut the top off, let it develop roots, and put them in a little glass of water. Kept changing the water out every once in a while whenever it started to get a little bit dirty. Wait until the roots got about into a foot long, and then I put them in the soil. And just, I mean, look at how huge that one is. Here is my mango tree. This, of course, is the sad peach tree that died. That's going to be pulled out this year. Here's my avocado tree right there. The one that I planted originally did not grow. That one is actually from one that I put in my worm bin, a avocado pit. And one day I was going through it after like a week or 2 of not touching my worm bin, and I noticed that there was something growing. And so I went ahead and pulled it out, and realized when I pulled it out that it was an avocado pit that was taking root. So since mine did not grow, I went ahead and planted that one, and there it is. Here, my blueberries are still hanging in there. I just threw in some warm poop castings, or what do you call them? Warm castings in there. Should have mixed it in better, but hopefully that'll give it some more nutrients. The fig tree is still looking beautiful. As a matter of fact, look at that right there. There is one fig right there. This is a cactus or nopal that came straight from Mexico. Straight from my wife's hometown. One of her aunts was kind enough to give this to us, and I'm now going to go ahead and let it grow here. Here are my 2 remaining calabaza squash. One of them tipped over and the roots were exposed and it fell and died. I've managed to pull out a lot from this one. I pulled about 4, I believe, and 1 from that one and 2 from the middle one. I just planted more corn. That's one that somehow did not bloom, so I just left it there. Originally I put everything on a flat level and I let the corn grow. The problem was that when there were strong winds, the corn started to fall with the hard, strong winds. So I had to put more dirt on top of it and make little mounds, like little hills, to kind of cover it. So this time my logic is to do the reverse. I did trenches and then I put the corn in there. And then once the corn gets to about 1 foot or 2 high, I'm going to simply take that dirt and pile it over and level it out, and then reverse the mounds to make it taller over time. And when I reverse it, basically that little mountain going here will be over here, and this will be entrenched in the middle now. But I'm going to add more compost. Oh, also, I went ahead and dumped out all of my worm castings and fertilized this corn with that. This is my first batch of worm castings that I've used for an entire crop. I sprinkled a few castings here and there, but never for this amount of size. But it was time to harvest all my worm castings. Unfortunately, I did do a video on it, but I accidentally deleted the video off of my phone before I had a chance to actually post it online. If anyone has ever wondered how much space I have, square footage I have for my garden, it's actually 517 square feet. This is actually, I believe, a 6x5. I'm not going to count that or my blueberries. I'm not counting my trees yet, although it will take up more space later on. I'm just counting that little patch that I've already done myself. I'm counting these two. This is they're both 6 by 28, and there's two of them. I believe that's 4 by 12, I believe. I can't remember. I'm not counting those trees either. Then for my corn, those little boxes, they're all, let's see here. It's actually a little bit wider now, but it's about 2 feet, a little bit more, by 7. And that's 2 by 7, and that's a little bit under 2 foot by 6. So that's about, what, rounded off, 2 by 20. So that's 40 square feet. This is 5 by 3, which is 15. And so when I added all that up, I have roughly 517 square feet of gardening space. So all in all, let's count this. Over here, my corn, I can plant 40 corn. Over there in that patch, I can plant 25. Or actually, I'm sorry, 24 corn. So that's 64 total corn. I can plant all that potato right there, or sweet potatoes. I had room to plant 10 bell peppers, 8 cabbage, 8 broccoli, 8 cauliflower. If I put them on little trellises, I can plant more than one. Cucumbers, probably around 6 to 8. I can plant 8 jalapeños. I can plant 8 tomatoes. I have right now, I believe, 6 asparagus, but I can also plant, I believe I measured, let's see, that's 2 by 6 area that I have left over for my beets. Then I have a 6 by 2 area for my lettuce. And then this right here is a 6 by 4 area that's supposed to be empty. That was supposed to be for my Jalapeños and some spinach, but my Jalapeños never took off. This was supposed to be a 6 by 4 section for my melon, a 6 by 4 section for my watermelon, and then the rest was supposed to be a 6 by 12 section, I believe, for beans. Beans produce a lot of nitrogen, which is good for the ground, which is good because you can then rotate crops around. So next year I'm basically going to flip all this around except for my asparagus, which can't be moved anymore. But I'm going to basically put everything that's growing on this side over there, over here, and then whatever's growing here, rotate over there. And then the year after that, put it back to the way it was originally, but flip it. Whatever's on this side goes on that side, and basically invert it. Same thing here, except for my asparagus, which you can't invert no more, but black beans will go on this side and so forth. Corn, I still have to wait until next month or later on in the month to plant my green, also not my green beans, plant my sugar snap and my little marvel beans, which were a huge success. I mean, I was getting so much from that section every single day, that like a handful a nice little bowl for snacking, basically, since they're so sweet every single day. So I'm going to continue that, and if the wife allows me, I'm going to expand the garden just a little bit. Basically take up this whole area from about here to here, and then make a little square right there, basically to make another raised garden, and that'll be my permanent fixture for my winter potatoes and summer vegetables, so I can swap it out. All that dirt from my potatoes, I understand that you really can't use it again for another year or two for potatoes. So what I'm going to do is dump out all that soil and plant it over here where my beans are at, since that one is the lowest area for dirt or soil. And that's it for today.